Hello everyone and welcome to another SuncatByte. During this SuncatByte, we're going to continue talking about functions. And in particular, we're going to talk about overloaded functions. So overloaded functions make it possible to have two or more functions with the same name but different input parameter lists. Okay, and overloaded functions all essentially perform the same job, but they're different possible inputs for those functions. So overloaded functions give us several possible functions, and due to some difference in conditions or inputs, we don't necessarily use all of them. So we'll see an example of this with the say goodnight program. So an example, so say we wanted to say goodnight 4 different ways. How could we do that? Oops. We could have 4 different prototypes. With the same function name, but different input parameters, and they all say goodnight. Okay? The function that you use would depend on the inputs passed to it. So say for example we had these prototypes. So they're all voids, they're all called say goodnight, right? Void say goodnight, void say goodnight, void say goodnight, void say goodnight. This one has 1 string as an input. This one has 2. Try that again. This one has 2, and this one has an integer as an input. So let's take a look at this in actual working code. So this is example 4.6. So notice we have those same 4 prototypes here. Prototypes have to come before your calls, right? Then, inside of the program, we have say goodnight called here, which is going to call that function. We have say goodnight Bob, so that's 1 string, so that'll call this, this function here. It'll use that prototype. Say goodnight with 2 strings here, and say goodnight with 1 integer is this guy. So say we come in and we just do say goodnight. It's going to come in here, and it's going to then jump down to this code, and it's going to say, good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Then it's going to go back to our main program, which is our calling program. Now it's going to say good night, and it's going to pass Bob. So here we have string name1. Name1 is going to have Bob in it, so then we're going to say good night, Bob. Come back. Now we have Susan and Melissa. That has the 2 strings. So name1 would be Susan. Name2 is Melissa. See out goodnight, and it's going to say Susan and Melissa. Come back. Now say goodnight with the 5. That number is going to be 5. So we're going to come in. We have this for loop. It's going to loop from 0 to 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 actually. So it's going to say goodnight 5 times. And then we're done. all the same function name. The void say goodnight function is overloaded. So let's go ahead and build this. And then debug. And we get exactly what we just said. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Good night, Bob. Good night, Susan and Melissa. Good night, good night, good night, good night, good night. And then that all done saying good night comes at the end of main right here. So that's it for overloaded functions. If you have any questions, please post on the discussion board forum, shoot me an email, or I will see you during office or lab hours. Till then, take care. Bye.